Hi there everyone, GuardianE here with another live reaction and first impression video for Fire Emblem Heroes tonight. We are getting the reveal of the next legendary hero to drop into the game in just a few short days. I've got the trailer pulled up, I have not seen the thumbnail, have not seen the title, and I'm looking away from my screen right now so we can react to it raw as we're watching through for the first time. And of course we'll take another gander at whoever is revealed in the banner itself afterwards to see if ultimately this is a banner that I think is worth pulling for. So with that, let us jump in and get started. I'm going to hit play, wait for that UI to leave, and we're on it. We're on it. Let's go. New legendary hero joins the battle. I feel like this could be anybody. Oh, is... Okay, beloved princess... Wait, wasn't... Oh, no. Sita was beloved queen, so Nanna is beloved princess. I guess that's in line. I mean, it makes sense. We got a lot of Thracia representation recently, so I guess that's not too out of left field. She's very pink. She's very bright, vibrant colors of Nanna here. She's going to be a cavalry sword unit, which is interesting. I don't really know a whole lot about her history, so I can't... I'm guessing that is sort of iconic for her. Let's see who else is available. Going to be Thracia as well as Celica. Okay. Got Crom. Mila. Lalina. Okay. Sigurd. Oh boy. Uller. Saros. Wolf. Ugh. And Ash. And Rennick. Huh. Okay. Well, we know who the throwaway colors are on this banner. Okay. Yeah, so starting on the 31st, so the very end of March and going for an entire week, as is standard practice for a legendary hero banner. So she is going to be a cavalry sword unit. It will be interesting to find out how she differentiates herself from the rest of the pack, because certainly we do have a lot of very potent and powerful cavalry sword units in the game, fulfilling all sorts of different roles and utilities. So we'll see what she has. I saw that she, of course, she did have her own unique skill, so I'm sure that is going to come into play. There is a good number of the trailer left. Oh, this is just talking about the FEH Spark? Yeah, and the Celestial Stone associated with it, right. So Nanna, as the beloved princess, with those signature feathers in her hair, the sort of loud and ostentatious but feminine pink of her outfit does really mesh very well with her naturally blonde hair and the green eyes. Quite clean art, nice shading. I like the glossiness of her hair. Feels very old school anime-esque, getting sort of notes of Langrisser kind of looped in here a little bit. She has some light-fitted armor, a very fancy-looking cape with a pink exterior and then the green lining within. I think the bright, lighter colors overall do mesh very well with sort of her cleric nature. She does have... It does sort of look like she has a staff behind her. I'm not entirely sure about that, but it kind of seems that way. Alright, so let's take a look at her skills. So Lance Sword, it's a 16 might weapon, grants attack +3. At start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than or equal to 25%, grants +6 to attack and speed to unit during combat, neutralizes effects that prevent units' follow-up attacks, disables non-special effects that reduce damage by X%, excluding those inflicted on units' area of effect specials, prevents foe specials that are triggered by unit's attack, and restores 7 HP to unit after combat. I see, so they've kind of built her around neutralizing and getting around damage reduction skills. So Lance Sword is certainly a Swiss Army knife sort of weapon, as we kind of often see these days, but clearly the intent behind it is to specifically counter these damage reduction units that are out there currently plaguing all kinds of different game modes. So the idea being, so the first part of her damage reduction disabling is specifically for skills that reduce damage but aren't specials, but then she also has the ability to completely prevent foes' specials that are triggered by her attack, which all of those would be... Any damage reduction special would be triggered by the unit's attack. So she effectively nullifies all kinds of damage reduction from her weapon at base level, just from a very easy condition, which is essentially just to have her HP equal to or above 25%. So super easy condition. She also gets herself an attack and speed boost, so that is going to allow her to do more damage and also make her more easily able to double And then, of course, she's also, you can't prevent her from follow-up attacking, so that speed is going to come in handy. So if she naturally doubles, she's just going to be able to double. Again, all in all, there's a lot of great stuff in there as far as stat boosts and not being able to prevent her from doubling. Those are actually very strong things, but really the takeaway is this whole damage reduction nullification that's kind of universal. A miracle for the special, maybe lore-ish reasons why she has that specifically, although maybe we'll see with her B-slot skill if there's any synergy there. For the A-slot attack speed push 4, probably the most common A-slot skill that they've added to new units in the past year, maybe. I don't think it's far from that if it's not. But yeah, so I'm +7 to attack and speed. That's obviously going to help her do more damage and double more readily. Does sort of synergize with Land Sword because, of course, she wants to stay nice and healthy. It's going to have that same condition at HP threshold. However, it's going to do chip damage of 5. However, Land Sword is going to nullify that with the health restoration. So it's effectively going to nullify itself. So it does synergize there. Hother's Zeal, has her B-slot skill, enables Kanto remainder +1. So it's not just a straight Kanto and do whatever you want, which is what we see a lot. This is actually a remainder +1. Unit deals damage equal to 20% of unit's attack. If unit initiates combat, unit can make a follow-up attack before foe can counterattack. Well, that's pretty strong, isn't it? So not only is she going to be able to not be prevented from doing her double, if she does double, she's going to have a desperation effect. And not only that, I mean, it's just, again, these skills are just kind of like toss the whole kit and caboodle in type of thing here, because there's no, like, it's just a bunch of, like, really powerful stuff without, like, I don't know, it doesn't really have a theme in mind, I guess. And with the Zeal, so the B-slot skill, she has Kanto remainder +1, deals 20% of her damage, so she just deals raw, true damage. True damage is just fixed damage, meaning that she'll just do that damage irrespective of whether she would normally ding the opponent. That's just how much damage she'll do. It's also not affected by color advantage or color disadvantage. It's just like raw, straight, true damage. So she deals damage equal to 20% of unit's attack. That's just straight up, she gets that damage boost. And then she has a conditionless desperation and a Kanto remainder +1, all built into this B-slot skill. And then for the C-slot attack speed menace at start of turn, if unit is within 4 spaces of foe, inflicts attack speed -6 on closest foes through their next actions and grants attack speed +6. So that's effectively going to give her a self-activated buff and a debuff on the enemy that's going to improve her killing potential, essentially. So, I mean, all in all, the Miracle doesn't seem to really synergize with anything, as far as I can tell. But Land Sword does a ton of different things. Hother's Seal does a ton of different things as well. Basically, everything that you would want a cavalry sword unit to be able to do outside of any other utility besides that. So, as a cavalry unit, she wants to take advantage of Kanto, since that's one of the strengths of both cavalry and flyers. She has that built into her B slot. She does true damage. She has a desperation effect. You can't prevent her from following up attacking through her Land Sword, and she just bypasses all damage reduction abilities, so she's just going to do that damage. And then she's going to heal a little bit. That will work with and synergize with the push skill to keep her topped off health-wise, and then she gets some stat boosts. So yeah, ultimately, I think it's a potent kit for what it does. It just gets rid of all of the nonsense out there currently with the damage reduction and anything that would prevent her from follow-up attacking, and then lets her attack consecutively. So she's just going to do like tons of damage, bolting in there like a nuke, essentially. And I mean, that's essentially what you want out of a cavalry sword unit for the most part. She doesn't really have any utility outside of that, but at the same time, she does work to specifically counter a lot of units that they've introduced recently that have had these damage reduction effects and have been sort of a nuisance in certain game modes. So she's definitely going to do that effectively. So if damage reduction units are the bane of your barracks, then I certainly think that Nanna has a place for you, or you have a place for Nanna, I guess, in your barracks. So let's take a look at the banner as a whole. Nanna is going to be introduced alongside Sigurd and Lalina. Boy, oh boy, the horses have come to play. That is it's a stacked color, especially if you're trying to cultivate a cavalry team or a cav line team or some sort of a composition in that arena. I mean, Sigurd is pretty much always going to have some degree of usefulness with that movement utility buff that he has. Lalina I mean, there's nothing terribly fancy about Lalina other than, you know, she's a cavalry red mage that has huge range and is going to hit very, very hard offensively. And then you've got Nanna, who now has basically the utility of bypassing a lot of damage reduction nuisances out there. So you got a complete package there. You've got a lot of stuff going on. Obviously, all the same color, but there's a lot of different elements covered within those 3 units right there. So that is a very strong color on this banner, I would say. All right, for blue, you've got Ulyer, you've got Saros, and you have Crom. That's actually not bad. That's not bad. I know a lot of people are kind of over Crom, I guess. I think he's still good. I know that everybody wants the new hotness, but I don't think that necessarily completely dismisses what Legendary Crom offers. So I think Crom is still strong. I think you could still absolutely make a case for him and use him. Saros is also obviously very strong. Ulyer is also very, very strong. So blue's a contender. I think blue is strong. It's probably not quite as strong as red, I would say, but not that far either. So for green, we have Thracia, we have Celica, and we have Rennick. So my advice would be to stay away from green personally. Thracia and Celica are alright. Thracia more so. I think Celica is a little bit, you know, she's showing her age a little bit, but at the same time, I mean, you can certainly find uses for them. Rennick is definitely on the weaker side here, also not limited in any capacity at all. So I feel like that really brings that color down quite a bit. And then for colorless, you have Mila, you have Ash, and you have Wolf. Wolf, once again, non-limited, really brings down the color a lot. He at least has some more decent fodder than Rennick, I would say, but at the same time, nothing like so critical and exclusive to him that you really would want to go for him. So I really just don't. Yeah, colorless is not very. I mean, it's okay. Ash is very good, but everybody also has Ash. So if you want to get merges for Ash, this might be an opportunity, but I would wait for a banner with Ash in it that has 2 better units, personally. And Mila's still good, too. And Mila definitely has her utility, especially in Ether Raids, because that's kind of where she's built around for that specific isolation skill. But all the same, I do think that just having one unit on a color that's kind of mid-range or on the lower side really brings down the value of the color as a whole, just in terms of like sniping on that color. So yeah, if I ultimately had to rank the colors on which ones you should be sniping on for this banner, all things being equal in terms of what your barracks is or is not missing, I would say that red is probably the highest value proposition here. I think blue is pretty close. I don't think blue is really that far behind, but I do think red tops it out. And then pretty further along, I would say, is green, and then just below that would probably be colorless. Those two are also very close together, but those two are also way below red and blue on this banner for me personally. Again, if you like these characters, if you're fans of the characters, that trumps everything else in my mind as far as an evaluation is concerned. But taking a look at kind of what their utility and their value proposition is for a barracks, that's how I would ultimately rank the colors. Now, for me personally, I'm just going to be doing probably the first full circle on this banner and then walking away. There's nobody here that I am absolutely dying to get, Nanna included, so I think that's basically how I'm going to be going about it. But let me know in the comments below if you're super excited for Nanna or the return of any of these characters, and let me know who you're going to be going for if you do end up hunting and summoning on this banner. Hopefully you all enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to leave us a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more Fire Emblem Heroes content. We thank you all so much for watching and for taking time out of your day to spend with us. We really do appreciate it. Certainly hoping you're all staying safe, healthy, secure, and united out there, and wishing the very, very best for you, your family, and your friends. And until next time, let's protect those skies.